From a single-family home to 6 units on one property, is this the answer to San Diego's housing crisis?
We are here on the flight line at Miramar.
It kicks off on Friday, and we have everything you need to know, plus what's new this year.
Saying goodbye to Queen Elizabeth II. The tributes here in San Diego and around the world on the day of her funeral.
Plus, why a motorcycle stunt rider from California is being held in a Tijuana jail tonight.
And meet the artist who wants you to bring a black light to her glow-in-the-dark mural.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
City leaders believe it will help our housing crisis, but some people living in Talmadge fear it will destroy their neighborhood. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. It is a City of San Diego program that allows developers to build multiple units on lots zoned for single-family homes. And as CBS 8 Steve Price shows us, the first project to take advantage of the program is now complete.
What was once a single-family home here in the Talmadge area is now this, 6 units on one property. Mayor Todd Gloria loves the idea, saying this is part of the solution to San Diego's housing crisis. But some neighbors have their concerns.
Check it out.
It's the first project to take advantage of the city's density bonus program passed by the City Council in 2020. And Mayor Gloria likes what he sees.
Some good storage above.
The property on 49th Street is a mix of units, including a studio, 4 one-bedroom apartments, and the main house, which has 3 bedrooms.
Our city has a housing crisis. We have an affordability crisis. We need to bring online units.
Developer Daniel Skolnick says this is about keeping San Diegans in San Diego, creating nice housing that's more affordable for middle-income earners like teachers and nurses.
It's the people who make our society function and the people that really are the fabric of San Diego. That's who we have living here.
But neighbors on both sides of this new complex have signs in their yards that make it clear they're not happy about the project.
Daniel's been a great neighbor.
Carlos Artiega doesn't blame the developer for taking advantage of the city's program, but he is disappointed that city leaders let it happen in the first place.
We are not against ADU or even a junior ADU plus an ADU, but that goes above and beyond what anyone can actually consider as coherent.
Carlos says the new structure strips them of any privacy. And while the current residents haven't caused any problems, he worries turnover will change that.
These people are not there forever. I mean, they're going to move, and eventually you may get 2, 3, 4 friends from San Diego State, sophomores, and you know the story.
Carlos's other concern is that this is just the start, that eventually several of these projects will go up on his block and yours too. But Daniel doubts that will happen.
It's not easy to find the right piece of land that's going to work. It's not easy to build these projects. It's still very expensive. It's still a cumbersome process. It still takes a long period of time.
Rents here start at $22.50 a month, and all of the units leased out quickly. In Talmadge, Steve Price, CBS 8.
Thanks, Steve. Tonight, Mexico is assessing damage from a 7.6 earthquake that struck near the coast of Michoacan this morning. It killed 1 person and triggered a tsunami warning. There were some early reports of damage to buildings near the epicenter, but so far there haven't been any reports of injuries. Today, interestingly enough, happens to be the anniversary of 2 other deadly earthquakes in Mexico, one in 1985, the other in 2017.
A professional motorcycle stunt rider from Sacramento is behind bars in Tijuana tonight, charged with evading arrest and possession of a handgun.
CJ Barham has more than 50,000 followers on Instagram. CBS 8's David Robertson talked to his mother, who was able to visit her son in Tijuana's La Mesa prison.
CJ Barham is a professional stunt rider. He performs at shows, doing donuts and wheelies on his custom Harley Davidson. But when he takes his show on the public roads, the stunts become illegal. And when he crossed the border last month into Mexico, his motorcycle riding turned into a police chase around Rosarito Beach.
They were trying to knock CJ off of his bike with their trucks, their police trucks, and one succeeded in blocking him, and they jumped out and pulled the pistols on him, and he went off the embankment and crashed.
CJ's mother, Susan Barham, does not approve of her son's stunt riding on public roads, But when she found out he was charged with possession of a handgun in Mexico, she knew he was being set up.
That gun didn't surface until after CJ was taken into custody. There was no gun at the scene of the crime. He doesn't have guns or own guns, or he's just a motorcycle rider. His father flew down immediately and took some cash with him and proceeded to try to pay a fine to get him out of jail.
Possession of a handgun in Mexico is a federal offense, so CJ was transferred to La Mesa prison in Tijuana. 2 weeks ago, CJ's mom was able to visit him for 4 hours.
He's scared. He's never gone through anything like this. So he's already lost probably 10 or 15 pounds just in 20 days. They eat soup every day. They don't get a solid meal, really.
Well, what do you say to people that say, hey, you know, the moral of the story is don't ditch the cops down in Mexico?
First of all, we'll never return to Mexico ever after this. And secondly, he comes from a family that has law enforcement, so he has a respect for them. At the same time, he doesn't want to get in trouble. He may be a reckless motorcycle rider and a party boy, but he's not a criminal. He doesn't belong in a high security prison.
Now, the mother tells me the police were angry with her son because he had evaded arrest. She claims they then beat him up and planted a gun on him. We reached out to Rosarito Police. The department tells us that those allegations would be investigated by a separate agency that looks into police abuse.
David, so how much time is CJ facing if he's convicted on that possession of a handgun charge?
Possession of any firearm in Mexico is a serious federal crime. One expert told me he could face up to 4 years in prison if convicted, but they have to prove the gun was his, and the mother claims her son's fingerprints were not found on the gun, so we're going to have to wait and see what happens in this case.
You'll see what plays out in the legal process. David Goffredson reporting for us. Thanks, David.
A weekend of wet weather is helping workers tame the mosquito fire up in Northern California. This fire started about 2 weeks ago near Sacramento, becoming California's largest wildfire of the year. So far, it has burned more than 76,000 acres and is now 39% contained. That is a huge jump from Friday, when containment was just at 20%. San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria is addressing a lack of sidewalks in San Diego communities, which his office says is a safety risk for kids heading to school. This morning, he toured new sidewalk construction in Encanto, near Pago Place and Cielo Drive. The city is putting in 600 feet of sidewalk and reconstructing 200 feet of road. It's expected to improve pedestrian access to public transportation and neighborhood walkability. It's all part of Mayor Gloria's larger effort to repair and add to more than 5,000 miles of sidewalks already here in San Diego.
San Diego Blood Bank says it urgently needs type O blood donations because they say community supplies hit critically low levels. All types of blood are needed, but the blood bank says it currently has less than a one-day supply of both O types. Type O negative is, of course, the universal blood type. Anyone can receive it. O positive is the most common blood type. It's always in high demand at hospitals. To donate, head to the website that you see there on the bottom of your screen to make an appointment, or just head to cbs8.com and click on the help button.
Tourism is a big part of our local economy.
And today, cruise season officially begins at the Port of San Diego. It's estimated that each ship that home ports here generates about $2 million in revenue for San Diego businesses. This season, more than 140 ships will leave from San Diego, carrying about 460,000 passengers altogether. The cruise industry anticipates this season will be the busiest since 2010.